YouTube now. There it is. It's live.
Hey, we are live. Woo!
We're not live on Fans First Sports Network. I believe the little elf people were on there. I don't know why Friday night this time they're on there, but that's okay. We've made it. Say it again, man.
Browns had something they needed to put out there tonight.
Talk about that 0-6 start to their season I foresee coming.
Right.
Pause. But yeah, well, let's go ahead and jump right to the intro and jump right into it because we already about half hour late.
Let's get it jumping.
So let's get it jumping. Like B Days.
Why is the NBA so bad at not looking rigged?
I couldn't tell you, bro. You think it's rigged? Really? You really do?
I didn't say that. I said, why are they so bad at not looking rigged? Because the questions keep coming about what is going on. You got the every time the Lakers get away with something, rigged. Tim Donahue, rigged. The Kings losing to the Lakers, again, rigged. And now, what was it, on Monday? NBA lottery, the perfect time for the NBA to prove that they're not rigged. They do it again. They just show you that, hey, you know what? Some things can't be explained. As we saw Monday with the NBA lottery, the Dallas Mavericks won the sweepstakes to get possibly Cooper Flag, one of those can't miss talents one of the top can't miss talents they had in the last 10, 15 years. Mm-hmm. Was everything that happened to Dallas since the trade of Luka Doncic worth it now that they won the draft lottery?
Absolutely. Because you can Anthony Davis, Cooper Flag,
always down.
Kyrie Irving. Absolutely.
Another ding?
Listen, I'm the believer unless Luka will not have an opportunity to win a championship in Los Angeles until LeBron retires or moves on or whatever they're going to do. I don't think he has an opportunity. I don't think LA has an opportunity next year. And if LeBron plays the year after that, I don't think he has an opportunity to win it then. So you're saying
LeBron is the reason they can't win a championship?
No, it's just that those two guys together don't work as far as the system. The system with Luka's ball dominant, LeBron is ball dominant. Luka doesn't play defense. LeBron is getting older.
I don't think LeBron has to be ball dominant anymore, man.
Yeah, LeBron had his number. When Luka came, LeBron got off the ball.
Well, when the playoffs came, when the playoffs came, that's not how it looked. When the playoffs came, they was trading. Who was going to go get the offense?
I don't agree with that at all. I think LeBron got off the ball, no Diddy, and I think Luka's a defensive liability who you can't count on, and so I think that was more it. But go ahead and finish your take, though. I just have to defend the homie from Ohio.
And then AD, Cooper Flag, Kyrie Irving. I like that. That's an opportunity for me. And with some of the lively guy they got, Thompson's not done yet. Yeah, they got an opportunity.
Yes, he is. We'll disagree to disagree at their tape. Why does the NBA keep doing this lottery thing in the first place? It doesn't prevent tanking anyway, because as you saw, a whole bunch of teams out there were tanking. Washington is forever in a tank mode. The team in your backyard, but they don't ever win the lottery. And so on and so forth. It doesn't prevent tanking. People are still going to tank. And as you saw the last couple of years, the teams in the play-in won the lottery. So what's the point of the lottery in any case? The only thing it brings is theater, which is good for the league. It gets people talking like us in the digital era. And it also brings conspiracy theories, which we're talking about now, which is not a good thing in the gambling era. So you have an idea why they continue doing this in the first place?
I think for league parity, I think it's a good idea. I mean, if it's rigged, it's not a good idea. We go back 40 years of the first draft lottery, 1985. The Knicks needed a player, and they got Patrick Ewing in that draft lottery. I mean, LeBron went to Cleveland. D Rose went to Chicago. So I don't know how much I believe in its authenticity if it's just a straight up lottery. But the fact that they did change some things up and make the first three worst teams have the same equal opportunity at getting the number one overall pick, that makes it a little better. It used to be if you finished worse, you had the way higher percentage. So tanking was kind of worth it. But now there's no guarantees. We see there's no guarantees. It's funny this year that the Mavericks got the pick with a 1.7% chance or something like that after they lost Luka, after Nico was looking bad. Nico looked good. You know why Nico is okay and looks good again? Because Tex or Jake or Bill the Cowboy in Dallas, Texas is happy now. And the Europeans are happy. They don't care that Luka's not there from Slovenia. They just happy to have one of their guys there that look like one of their guys. So it works out. And he's the best player. Cooper Flag will be better than Luka in 4 years. He'll be better. Cooper Flag is athletic, can play defense, can block shots, can rebound, can handle, and he's a facilitator. He's everything. Luka's great. Luka's great at putting the ball in the bucket. Luka had a game in the playoffs against Minnesota where he had scored 38, had 2 rebounds with defensive liability. He was hurting them just as much as he was helping them.
We're starting off hot. We got hot takes already from the first two commentators. But you pointed out that the Mavericks won the lottery with a 1.8 chance of winning the lottery. A few other times in which the team won the lottery in which they had seemingly no shot. 2010, after LeBron signed with the Heat, the Cavs won the lottery with a 2.8% chance to win. The next year, Chris Paul got traded to the Clippers. And then you turn around, the Pelicans won the lottery with a 13.7% chance to do so. 2019, same Pelicans, Anthony Davis traded to the Lakers. And that same year, Zion is the number 1 pick after the Pelicans won the lottery with a 6% chance. And as you said, this year, Mavericks, Luka, 1.8% chance. B-Dirt, with that 1% chance to win the lottery, that is an all-time underdog win. What do you think about that?
Hey, man, you only need a chip and a chair. That's it. Here's the thing. When you're talking about the conspiracies and all this other stuff, there's representatives from all the teams that are in the lottery behind those closed doors with Ernst & Young, with people from the league. The idea of keeping all of that under wraps and rigging the lottery is probably very slim to none, and Slim left the building. The issue is there's always been other things. There's been weird things happen in the NBA, and then you have the Tim Donahue scandal, and that was a huge thing, right? Gambling, point shaving by a referee. So then I think it all heightened. But as far as like big upsets of that 1.8,
give it to us.
Big upsets happen, man.
Yeah, facts.
They happen in sports all the time. They happen in gambling. They happen like I put in some 12-team parlays. I hit one a while back. They're fun.
Be dirt.
What are some good upsets?
Pocket tens versus pocket aces, and you go down
every once in a while. Sometimes you get cracked over the head.
What are some good upsets that won? B Dirt.
Wait, a top 5 off the top of my head?
Let's go.
College basketball has 2 right off rip. I gotta mention, right? You got the 83 NC State Wolfpack over Phi Slamma Jamma, Houston.
Facts.
You got the 85 Villanova over Georgetown Hoyas. I think that's one of my favorites. I I would be remiss with all this maize and blue around me if I didn't mention App State beat Michigan in the big house. I think everybody always goes to do you believe in miracles? The 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team.
Facts.
I'll leave in case anybody wants to chime in. I'll leave another kind of one that's probably right there on the tip of everybody's mind. And I'm going to go to another place because 1.8% on this lottery made me think of gambling. And Tate and I met each other through playing poker. So I'm going to go back to when the World Series of Poker went mainstream for the first time. It was always these hardcore poker players that always won until an accountant sat down at the table and beat Doyle Brunson and all the other cats that were there. Chris Moneymaker. What a name, by the way, for A, an accountant, and B, the first basically non-poker player to win the World Series of Poker.
He was a beast too, boy.
My nigga Doyle. Another underdog that surprises us. I think that surprised us last year. Big G winning 4 games in the fantasy league. Shocker.
Yeah, I had him. I had him at 2-14 was my prediction. So he did hit the over. So
it's okay. It's okay. But listen, so this type of thing has been going on forever in the NBA. How did the Los Angeles Lakers get Magic Johnson after they won a chip? How did the Boston Celtics get Larry Bird after they was contending and winning chips? It's been going on forever.
So you agree it is rigged? The NBA is rigged.
No, it's not rigged, but the way that it's set up is that that the players seem to end up in the place where they need to be to continue to make the market what the market needs to be. San Antonio needed Victor Wembanyama. They needed him, not wanted him. They needed him to go to San Antonio because San Antonio was a dead franchise.
What you're saying is the Godfather design. You got the hand controlling, pulling the strings. That's what's happening. The minuet. You got the old David Stern.
Well, the issue is that the player has the potential, but we never know what it's going to look like. For example, the Boston Celtics, they got Len Bias. Everybody was like, how in the hell can you give Len Bias to Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Dennis Johnson, and Danny Ainge? Unfortunately, some bad things happen. So sometimes stuff happens like that. You wish the best. Zion Williamson hasn't worked out in New Orleans. AD didn't necessarily work out in New Orleans.
Literally and figuratively.
Correct.
Mr. Woodside hit the nail on the head with Buster Douglas over Mike Tyson, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, what y'all always say, a dead clock is right twice a day. So, stuff happens.
How about this one for combat sports? Holly Holm, kick to the head. Ronda Rousey goes down. That's a good one.
Yeah.
What about the final fight in Bloodsport? Yeah. I know Dallas was the big winner that night, but like Tate said, so was Nico. He was the wrong number. He was the wrong number away from getting fired. They'd have said any number other than top three, because they had to win a coin flip to even get to that position. But if he was the time on his employment in Dallas was ticking definitely away. But in fact, I still don't think he's off the hook. In my opinion, he shouldn't be allowed to draft anyone this summer. Because are we sure Nico was even going to draft Cooper Flagg?
If he don't, he should be fired immediately.
Guarantee they already said they draft. They had a trade conversation for Giannis.
They said we're gonna. All teams do that thing. Like, well, we haven't made a decision yet. That's what he's saying right there. But my question is, Nico has done so much BS in the last 4 months. Take him out of the equation altogether. That's where I'm at with it.
All he did was traded Luka.
Oh, I was 12 years old when the Dodgers beat the Oakland A's. That walk-off homer by
Kirk
Gibson. That was a great one too. Yeah,
that's true.
That's
true. I see in the comments Gavin Anthony Nico Harrison was awarded for making the dumbest deal in NBA history. There's been some other dumb ones. I don't know if that one's
but still,
the dumbest.
but even at that, I don't know if I disagree. But the NBA said, "Oh, thanks, Nico, for trading Luka to the Lakers, another major market. We'll take care of you, buddy."
Yeah, that was it helped everyone involved. That's why we come back to the top of this conversation. Is the NBA rigged? Everybody got something that helped them look better. The history of the NBA has always been predictable, right? The best players, like you were saying, G, the best players get rings, and in some cases they get a lot of rings. The best teams always find a way to win, and in some cases they win for an entire era. But now the NBA is in a parity era where it's more difficult to guess what's going to happen. Come those warm months, right? Like we're in now. We've already talked about how there's been no repeat champion since the Kevin Durant Warriors, but now this season we've got upsets galore in the playoffs. Gee, I'm coming to you, my dog. The Knicks, for all those waiting for me to pay off all those bets I lost to G, I bought my way back. I don't know if you noticed, but I was close to 2 hours. I had fought my way down to about 45 minutes. I just knew the Knicks was not getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. And now look at me. Now look at me. I'm salty right now, G. They are currently up by, 40 points.
It's 92-53. They're beating the brake shoes off of them.
Kicking the teeth in of those Celtics. Though Knickerbockers are I'm going to call it. I'm going to call this fight early. They're headed back to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time in 25 years since the Allen Houston era. That was when I liked the Knicks back then. That was my dog.
Me too.
Allen Houston was my favorite player. And no, you still like the Knicks. But
yeah, I'm a secret admirer. Yeah, I am.
Oh, so now you're a Cavs fan again.
Oh yeah, I'm a Cavs fan because I'm not going to trade back. I'm not going to trade back. I let him go. I said I was done. I'm over with the Cavs, but I'm a secret admirer.
But as the Knicks, I guess, appointee on this show, is this feeling right now for Knicks fans the best feeling they've had since right before the tip-off of Game 7 of the 94 Finals?
Absolutely. 100% facts. They actually have an opportunity to get to the NBA championship. And this is like an old school rivalry. Indiana Pacers, New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, this happened multiple times. So they're looking across the room and they're like, hey, we can drill Indiana. And I think that they have a real opportunity to do that because they're the anti-Indiana. They're the anti. Indiana likes to play real fast pace. The Knicks want to play tough, man. You know, I saw, man, Josh Hart, man, he got towed up the other night. Blood was gushing everywhere out his head. And they taped that dude up, said, get back in there, bro. So like, the Knicks got a shot. I'm not saying that they're going to make it, but they definitely, this'll, like you said, Pay, the last time they had an opportunity to win a chip is like you said, Game 7 against the Houston Rockets, and they blew it. John Starks went 3 or whatever, you know.
Yeah, he was terrible. John Starks is top 2 and not number 2 worst players I've ever seen in my life. But G, I got to stop you right there. You said this is the best feeling Knicks fans have had since 94. You know they went to the finals in 99.
So they was going to get smoked. No Patrick Ewing. Marcus Camby was on one leg. They had Larry Johnson's back was jacked up. It was over. They was going to get smoked. San Antonio was going to beat them down.
But do you not remember that 4-point play in the Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, I remember the hook. Now, come on now. You know, I know. That was huge for him. But bro, right now, they looking across the way, and they like, we could take Indiana.
What about Linsanity?
No, get out of here, man. Come on. Man. Get Linsanity out of here. They got a legitimate chance to win a championship this year. Legitimate. They wasn't going to beat San Antonio. There's no way.
Tate, why? Well, I think we all know what happened to the Celtics this series. But I'm going to just go around the room and ask everybody right now. Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach?
I
don't know.
I think he's a good coach. I don't think they upgraded by replacing Ime Udoka with him, but he got him a championship. They've had a top 3 or 4 regular seasons since he's been there every year. I mean, he's working with a lot of talent. I mean, I don't know that he commands the room like Udoka does. I mean, so I think he's a good coach. I think if they were to move off of him, he'd get a job like right away.
Same like that coach that got fired in Cleveland when they went to the finals. They got fired.
David Blatt.
Yeah, David Blatt. Didn't get a job right away. Hey, B Dirt, good coach, yes or no?
No.
Excellent. G, break the tie.
I think he's an okay coach. He's not a good coach. He's got immense talent. And when his best player was down and over with, it's over with for him.
Well, they did win sans Tatum last game. But those losing those first 3 games, that was definitely on him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And listen, that Achilles injury for Tatum is messed up, bro. You know, prayers for that kid, but that kid might not never come back and play the way he's played. That might not never happen again. You have modern science and modern medicine, but man, his leg, man, that they said that they stitched him from his ankle all the way to the top of his calf. So that means that Achilles rolled all the way up to the top of his calf. Man, that's a serious. It's going to take big time months, big time rehabilitation for him to even be ready by next season. That's a year. That's from now to be ready for the start of next season. No way.
The rare season-ending injury that also ends the next season is what you're saying, Big G.
Mm-hmm.
It could be. It could be, man. It could be.
Well, yeah, I think they already said.
Sure.
I think they already said he's gonna miss next year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they talk and it's talk.
All that New York talk, man, that made me think about it. The original guarantee, Joe Willie Namath, upset over Baltimore Colts.
There you go.
All right, sorry.
Hey, what you said? What you said, man?
No, there's talk that they could look into trading Tatum. I mean, yeah. I mean, he's sitting out a year. I mean, Boston is like one of those, what do you call it, the second tier tax. What's the new tax thing now? Second level. It's called something. Second apron. There you go. Mm-hmm. Second apron. And, you know, if they're going to be down next year without Tatum, they could look into making some moves and building around number one Celtic, Jaylen Brown. You know, I mean, they got some good young players, but they could still get Tatum's 26 years old, come back from injury. I think today's, like Big G mentioned, I don't know if he was going where I'm going with it, but with today's modern science and, you know, just everything that the medical professionals are capable of, I think Jason Tatum will be all right. You know, Kevin Durant came back from a similar, and he's still getting buckets. That was 6 or 7 years ago.
That type of injury leads to further injuries as you continue down with your season. I mean, continue on with your career. As you've seen with Durant, he's been hurt damn near every season since he's got that initial Achilles injury.
And he's still getting buckets. He's like 37 now, and somebody's going to trade for him for a contender. He's still balling. He's 4 years older than Tatum was when this injury happened.
Yeah, and the point I was making, not to say that your career is kaput, is done, or that you're going to be like Isaiah Thomas when he tore his Achilles. Saying that this injury is going to affect the rest of your career in some way, shape, or form. So all prayers up to Tatum for a speedy recovery, and let's hope that he becomes the Boston $1 million man. Just fix him back.
Hey, Pay, I think Mr. Woodside over here has got a really nice question. I'm interested to hear your comments on it. Says
no.
Teddy says, do you think Durant is done winning chip?
Yes. Durant won those first 2. I don't want to put an asterisk on nobody's chips, but he won those first 2 the easy way, right? Ever since then, he's been with super teams.
How was it the easy way? I mean, because he's the guy. He didn't just go win and ride coattail. He went to Steph Curry team and was the man. He got them there.
He's been on super teams his entire career.
How many games did they win the year before he got there?
73.
Okay, so he So did they win the chip?
No, they lost to Cleveland.
Lost to Cleveland. Was
And
that
that's
the one
when
where
they
were
got
up 3-1 and lost?
And that's when they got Durant, and they won 2 straight against Cleveland. LeBron had the code. LeBron broke the code, and the only reason they won in 15 because Kyrie and Kevin Love was hurt. Then they did come back and win in 16. And let's go get Durant. They went to Durant in the Hamptons. Yeah, KD went to a team that was better than Golden State. Probably they lost a 3-1 lead themselves to Golden State. He was beating them. Then Russ might have shot him out of it. So, yeah, he went to a team that they should have beat the year before, but he's the reason. Both finals he was the MVP. That's why the other day we were talking, Mod said that if Steph wins another one, is he top 5? No, Steph's not top 5. He was never the man on his team that won championships the last time.
All right, so the answer to that question is yes. He's done winning championships, and he was done when he got that Achilles injury. Let's move on to football. As we said,
hey, what round did he get that Achilles injury in? I mean, this is open for interjection. I'm just asking a question. You say something, I can respond, right? What round did he get the injury in?
It's finals. Well, actually, the initial injury came in the second round.
The calf injury.
Yeah,
right.
But the Achilles was in the final, so he got him to help get him there again. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Football. NFL schedule released. Another day in the NFL proves that they are the king of all things this sports related. They take over the day by doing absolutely nothing. Shout out to you, Claude. Let's talk about it. What primetime games that doesn't involve your team are you most interested and excited about? And while you would think about that for a second, I'm gonna throw out some stats. Kansas City Chiefs, everybody's favorite, the new America's team, whether that's infamous or you like them. They have 9 primetime games. Seven games starting 7 p.m. or later.
Wow, really?
They do. So
wow,
it's gonna be tough on them. Tough on them to be again. I said 2 seasons ago. I think this is it for Kansas City, and they keep coming back, right? But
they even put it Jaguars on Monday Night Football. That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. Who wants to see that game? I mean, we're all going to watch it anyway, but still. B-Dirt, not involving your team. What game are you excited about? Is it the Kansas City Chiefs versus Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh, man, it's week 1. Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I think that's a great one.
Yeah, that's a good one. Rematch.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I understand. I know that you want some revenge documented there against the Commanders, but I like that one. Philly has a good one. Going to Lambeau, I like that one too. Those are my 2.
Those are your 2. G, I got a double question for you. That same question, and keep it quick. But I also have a second question. What would a Cowboys record be?
9-8.
9-8. What game are you excited to see?
Week 1. Dallas Cowboys at Philadelphia Eagles for the punishment.
Yeah, for the punishment.
Punishment.
It's a little bit of a voyeurism in you, huh?
Yeah, the Philadelphia Eagles is gonna beat the brake shoes off the Dallas Cowboys prime time. First week off the back, they're gonna beat the brake shoes off of them. And they're gonna show the reason why the Dallas Cowboys ducked the one position that they needed to fix. And he's trying to tell me that Javonte Williams trash behind is gonna run in and make a difference playing running back. The Dallas Cowboys can't run the ball. I don't care if they try to run by committee or whatever. Philadelphia is going to pin their ears back, and Steele, that plays right tackle for them, is going to have a long day at work because they're going to try to kill Dak Prescott. They're going to try to kill him because they got 2 corners, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, that can hold up all day and night. So they're either going to be in press man or when they get tired, go to cover 2 or cover 4. That's the only defenses they're going to play all night. And the rest of the time, they're going to say, go get Dak Prescott. until Dallas shows me that they can run the football, the Cowboys is in trouble. They in trouble.
Hey, same question. What game that's not including the Steelers are you most excited to see? And after your answer, we'll take our break before we get to our largest topic of the night, our big topic of the night.
I'm with Big G, but my favorite game is not the Cowboys versus the Eagles. It's the Thanksgiving Day game between the Chiefs and the Cowboys, and for the very same reason, I want to see the punishment.
What the?
I mean, it's just it's Dallas fans, man. I mean, it makes for good banter on the Know-It-Alls podcast. We go back and forth about the Steelers and the Cowboys. I don't think it's a primetime game, but I said on the show the other night on the Steel Curtain Network to pump your brakes. My number one Steelers game, I don't think it's prime time when they play the Bears. But again, for the punishment, I mean, when you got your homies, you got your bros and stuff like that, and they talk a lot and they interject themselves into what your team got going on. So that's why it's always the Browns too, because the Browns fans is always talking like the little elf in the ear, right? Go do this and that. So, but this year it's the Chicago Bears in Chicago. Looking forward to that game just to see what happens. And this is solely between me and you.
That involves your team.
No, but I was just saying. I said my primetime game doesn't involve my team. I'm just saying my other game would be that, and I already put out there to the Steel Curtain Network that I know we got a nifty 50 on it. Because I want to. We always do something, don't we? I mean, well, hey, all right, that's it. Chiefs Cowboys Thanksgiving Day.
Chiefs Cowboys Thanksgiving Day. All right. We're at the halfway point. Let's go ahead and take that break. When we come back, I want you guys to give me your best take for the WNBA season. As the season opened tonight, your best take for who's going to maybe win the championship, win the MVP, whatever. Your best take on the other side of this break. Thanks if you watch it live. We'll be right back. You watch it, you listen on audio. Check out what our advertising partners got for you, and we'll be right back on the other side of those ads. Welcome back. So, you all got your homework assignment? Mm-hmm. The WNBA season did tip off tonight. My favorite squad, the Minnesota Lynx, beat the brake shoes off of the Dallas Wings and their brand new toy, Paige Brucker, the ballyhooed rookie out of UConn. Really smoked them, right? And my take, Minnesota is going to get what was stolen from them last year. They're going back to win the championship. The most decorated team in league history is going to be the first team to get five chips. B-Dirt, your take for the WNBA season.
I like New York to repeat. I say that, but I preface it with this. I think the most improved team in the league that's going to give them a run for the money, along with your Lynx. I do like them as well. I like what the Fever did. They added some players there, and I think part of Caitlin Clark's game, everybody focuses on the 3-point shooting and all that stuff, but the assist and the passing and the facilitating, I think she's really good at. And now I think she's got some more pieces that can finish, especially around the hoop. I think you're going to see a quite an improvement from them, and I think they're going to be one of those top 4 teams in the league.
Oh, I agree with you there. I think when you say most improved, an argument could be made that the Aces are a much improved team as well. Gee, you're shaking your head. What you got?
Because Aja Wilson going to win the MVP, and the Aces going to win the chip. And I'm cheering for Minnesota, but the Aces is rough, boy.
You know what, G? Let me stop you. Let me stop you right there. You were already on probation of being a Lynx fan, and you started off very, very. Watch yourself, G.
Hey man, Aja Wilson, she's the best player in the freaking league.
I won't argue that.
About?
I won't argue that, but just watch yourself, G. Watch yourself.
And her shoes are fire, G.
They the best female basketball shoes since the Swoops. They fire, man. So, but Aja Wilson's the best player in the league, and that team got better. The Aces, bruh, is not to be played with in 2025. The Aces is not to be played with. I look for them young ladies to win a whole bunch of games.
It's funny that you say this because I remember talking to WNBA with you all last season, and I tried to tell you that Jewel Lloyd, who is the big addition to the Aces roster this year, I tried to tell you that Jewel Lloyd is a top 5 to 7 player in the league.
You did,
and you argued me down, but now you've come around. I'm glad to see you come around to it. Jewel Lloyd is a beast, and now that she's putting up with Aja Wilson, it's going to be tough in Vegas. Tate, don't get fined. You're on mute.
Yeah, you guys took all my thunder right there. I was going with the Aces. Because of some of their additions, some of the moves they made. So I'm gonna roll with the Aces, even though I like what Indiana did too. I'm kind of like B Dirt said, New York and Indiana, and I'll say the Aces in Indiana. But the Aces is my top pick. I'm gonna go ahead and put Paige Bruckers out there to win Rookie of the Year, hands down, no problem. And I agree with G. Aja Wilson, MVP again.
Beast, man.
Though Caitlin Clark can give her a run for the money for MVP.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I definitely think Caitlin gonna get some votes, but my girl MVP, she ain't gonna be. They old. Minnesota's old something, and like I said, they did start the season off very hot.
Collier had like 34. She had like 34.
Yeah,
she killed him. She killed him.
The most effortless bucket in the league.
Yeah,
and she's a top defender. I think she finished with top 3 in defensive player of the year voting last year, if I'm not mistaken. And she didn't rest on none of her laurels in the offseason. She was definitely leading the untitled league. Very, very, that's my pick, as you can already know. I am so happy. We have come to 37 and a half minutes. Now we can get into the meat of this episode, the one that's going to have all the conversation. This week, the big news out of sports was obviously the NFL, whatever the NFL is doing. They're obviously going to have majority of the mouths of the bloviators moving. But Major League Baseball, they also did something. Manfred, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, he removed all players banned from the Hall of Fame. All players banned from baseball. He removed them from that list. Shoeless Joe Jackson and all his teammates on the 1919 White Sox, and most notably, Pete Rose, Charlie Hustle. I know you all got some fire opinions on this. Did Manfred get it right or get it wrong, removing cheaters from the ban list?
Pete Rose is him. Pete Rose is him. Hall of Fame right now. Matter of fact, they shouldn't even have a freaking vote. Put him in. Just put him in the Hall of Fame right now. Just go ahead. You don't need no vote. We don't need to calculate nothing. We don't need to figure nothing out. Just go ahead and automatically put Charlie Hustle in the Hall of Fame. Just go on and do it.
Why?
But Pete Rose is him. His stats alone.
What are his
stats alone? Beastly. I don't know him off the top of my head.
256.
Yeah, I didn't know that number off the top of my head. That's why I didn't want to say it. But beastly, his stats alone, put him in the Hall of Fame. Automatic. It's not even nothing even to talk about. No ballot, no this, that, and this. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
That's the last player. He's the last player to get 4,000 hits, and when I was coming up and watching baseball, it was always, you did the home run chase. But another chase that was always going on is could anyone possibly break Joe DiMaggio's hit streak? Pete Rose came the close. I think he got to 52?
Yeah.
Or 42, something like that.
He's him. He's him. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
I'm gonna try and say this without cursing. Rob Manfred is it's petty as hell. It's just petty as hell. The reason why he did it was he waited until Pete Rose was dead. The body is barely cold. It's less than 6 months, and he releases it. Listen, was Pete Rose a great guy? By all accounts, no. There's a lot of, you could dig up a lot of dirt on him if you want to go searching the internet. But you cannot write the story of baseball without him. When you talk about the Hall of Fame, that's kind of the definition for it. Now, if you want to start cleansing the Hall of Fame because of people's indiscretions and all those other things, okay, go get Ty Cobb out of there. Go get a whole bunch of this racist. There's drug users. There's all kinds of things in the Hall of Fame. If you want to start, if that's what you wanted to do, and you wanted to be holier than thou, no, listen. I get it, gambling on baseball. It was never proven that he did any point shaving or bet against his teams or any of those kind of things. You can't listen. I'm cool with making him wait, but he should have been alive to see his bust. And it's a sad thing that he's not. You can't write the story of Major League Baseball without him. Manfred should have done this 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
So the conversation that from the bully, again, in your backyard, the bully in your backyard, that he's saying MLB owners should be, well, not owners, but the people who vote should be ashamed of themselves for not having Pete Rose in the hall, and he was going to pardon him. Two-part question. One, does a pardon put him in the Hall of Fame? And two, do you think he should be there?
Are we talking about Pete Rose specifically?
Pete Rose specifically.
Well, yeah, Pete Rose should have been there. I agree with B. Dirt. He should have never been banned. He bet on baseball. He bet on his team. He didn't bet for his team to lose like he was throwing games. He bet on his team to win. And as far as Manfred, the commissioner, the original question was, did he get it right lifting bans? Yes, he did. Because like B. Dirt said, B. Dirt addressed, if you want to clean up the Hall of Fame, then go back and clean that thing up. We can Google stuff about a lot of players in the Hall of Fame now and see a lot of their bad indiscretions and get them out of there. But they don't do that. They're selective about who they've chosen to essentially blackball and not put into the Hall of Fame. So I think it's due time. It's just due that some of these players are getting in. And I wonder how that affects guys like Barry Bonds. I think Barry Bonds should be in. Barry Bonds was a Hall of Famer way before he went to San Francisco and started getting the big neck. Barry Bonds probably had won 4 or 5 MVPs before that time.
Little Neck Barry was bad.
Little Neck Barry was, let's say it right, B. Dirt was a badass.
Yeah, for sure.
All they have to do for guys like Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, and Barry Bonds is just say it was the steroids era. That's all they got to do. But still put them in the Hall of Fame. Put them in the Hall of Fame.
I guess I'll be the one to disagree with everybody. On a few points. Here's why.
One, because you're a contrarian.
And two, because we have to do content, right? There's a certain aspect of that. The people that, if B. Dirt, you brought it up first, if we want to go back in time and start legislating behavior, you can take that Cobb or whatever, whoever you want to, Mickey Mantle, say a name.
Babe Ruth.
Start with him. Start with Babe.
I don't know why you want to pull Babe out the hall, but that's the point. If you want to start taking people out for being bad people, fine. Pete Rose still doesn't get in if that's the case. But here's the thing: what make Pete Rose, and Shoeless Joe and the rest of his teammates different. They broke the cardinal rule, the most valuable rule in all of sports, the third rail in sports. You cannot gamble. Tate, you said, well, he gambled on his team to win. You don't know that to be the case because for decades, he said, I never gambled. I did not do the thing. And then 15 years ago, he just admitted that, okay, I did gamble, but it was only on my team. How do you know he's not lying still? How do you know he didn't lie? How do you know that he didn't gamble on his team to not win? You don't know. Therefore, you can't have him in, especially in now where you are actually your biggest partner in all these leagues is gambling books. You cannot have players that are tied to fixing games, whether for the good of their team or not the good of their team. You can't have it whatsoever. Jonte Porter, he's probably going to see jail time for what he did. There's
pay. Just because he bet doesn't mean he was part of fixing the game.
You don't know that, but then you still don't know that, GB. The implication is there. You can't even have the implication.
Did Michael Jordan bet?
Is Michael Jordan a gambler? Is that what you're asking me?
Is Michael Jordan the biggest gambler in all sports history?
Probably.
Did he bet on different things like NFL football, like baseball, like different stuff? He probably bet on basketball games. You're damn sure he did, but he didn't bet on the Bulls. Jordan is labeled the greatest player ever.
Don't know. I don't like.
He didn't get caught.
Facts.
Like
there you go, Dirt. Facts.
I don't like what you're insinuating there, G. There's no hard data to say that Jordan fixed any basketball games or bet on any basketball games. He did gamble. He does love to gamble. We do know that. None of that is against the rules of the NBA betting on other sports. You can do that now. Ohtani was doing it.
Do we know if Pete Rose had a winning or losing record as manager of the Reds?
I think it was about 500.
Okay, I'm looking at this. It's close to 412 and 373. So I mean, I don't.
So there's another thing. So the second part of that, Pete Rose, the person. One, the president did say I was going to pardon him and he should be eligible for the Hall of Fame at that point. Well, pardoning somebody for being convicted of tax evasion has nothing to do with being eligible for the Hall of Fame. That's two totally different things. I don't know if our president knows that. And the second thing, there has always been these rumors about Pete Rose and underage girls in the clubhouse. Blah blah blah. This is again, it's a terrible week for talk about this type of stuff, but you have that on the books about him. I just say that if you are going to gamble on your sport, or even have the be in that vicinity of gambling on your sport, you have already X'd yourself out of being involved in that sport until the end of time. I don't like that Manfred took him out because again, I agree with you. I agree with you on this point, B-Dirt. It's petty. If you're gonna keep him out until he's dead, keep him out for the rest of all eternity. There's no point.
And multiple times in interviews, Pete Rose said that once he passed, he didn't want to be reinstated. He didn't want to go to the Hall of Fame.
That
it was meant to be a celebration with him, his teammates, his family, and his fans. I heard him say it on multiple different interviews. So it's like you consistently give this guy what he doesn't want. And you have to get him what he used to want in this situation to continue to give him what he doesn't want. It's just it's a weird dynamic. It's petty. It's a whole bunch of stuff I can't say on air. I don't like it, man. I don't like it.
I feel that
diabolical. It's diabolical. It's ridiculous. Listen, diabolical.
I get that side of it. I would be less upset right now if he just stayed man.
I agree. He should have. I don't think Manfred should have done this. I don't think there was any reason to do it. There was no fervor before he did it. I don't think anybody was talking about, hey, you know what we should do? You should let Shoeless Joe Jackson and the other guys who went into court and said they threw games in the
Shoeless
World
Joe
Series.
Did not though.
Well, he didn't admit it. His other teammates did, which pretty much means Shoeless Joe, you did too.
When you look at his stats, it sure as hell didn't look like he did.
Facts.
If he took the money, I think it's a bigger indictment of what you did on the field. You can't take money to throw gang. You can't take money from gangsters to mess up the outcome of the game.
But Rose didn't do that. Rose didn't do that.
The game. Woo-hoo.
Yeah, but Rose didn't do that. Rose bet on baseball games. He bet on baseball games. Why?
What do you mean why? That's not a. What do you mean why, G?
As long as this team is not involved with, he can bet with anything he want to bet. What's the deal? What's that? Why? Where's that a crime? That he's not going to jail for it. He's not going to prison for it.
Well,
that's not a crime. But that's not a crime. He bet on baseball. It did not involve his team or any team that his team was playing. So it's irrelevant. I bet you if they go back and vet so many players, including Mr. One, Michael Jeffrey Jordan, they bet on all kind of stuff. Man, there's been so many players that have gambling issues in sports. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It was never a crime. Never, ever a crime.
Yes, it has been a crime, and that's a straw man argument, G. That we'll get to it another time.
What's the guy's name? We all, I'm sure, Henry Hill, Goodfellas. You know,
yeah.
Make sure to get it. He put on some kids. What was Boston College's basketball program?
Facts.
He took some kids down falsely, saying that they were working with him to fix games. So you can't take. So sometimes you gotta take money from gangsters. Just what they say. I mean, so it's kind of all over the place. So I think some of the only thing you can do is look at their resume on the field, because the truth is we don't know.
Well, he admitted there you go.
On the field. I'm sorry. What'd you say?
He admitted it to betting on games. So
he did later. 1919 World Series. Shoeless Joe Jackson had 0 errors, had 5 outfield assists, throwing people out, had a home run, 6 RBIs, hit .375 with a then World Series record of 12 hits.
Come on, man.
Those numbers.
Put him in.
They played 9. They played 9 games in the series back then. Juice numbers.
It was a record at the time, and he hit .375 with no errors and 5 outfield assists. Put him in the Hall of Fame.
Come on, man. Thank you, B-Dirt. Come on, man. Absolutely.
Did he or did he not take the money?
He never admitted it. His teammates dimed him out. His teammates dimed him out, but he never admitted it.
Okay, so guilty by association then, because a whole
denial's 2/3 of the law, bro.
Hold on a second, Pay. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, hold on. No, B-Dirt, no, sorry, B-Dirt, sorry. Denial is not 2/3 of the law, G. That's possession.
You gotta prove it. You gotta prove it.
Yeah, and
you gotta prove it.
Hold on. That was wild. That was wild.
Cats deny stuff all the time. They deny it.
Pay. If you give me 10 grand to murder somebody, do I get charged with murder for taking the money?
Ray Caruth?
Yes. Yeah, you do. They can charge you for that.
Yes. If I take the money and never
they cannot charge you for murder.
Fly.
No, they can not charge you for murder. No, they can't charge you for murder. They can charge you for conspiracy. Absolutely. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, you're going to jail. You're going to jail for that.
So he took money, but obviously did not throw the game.
No,
so what would you charge him with?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy to throw the game?
Conspiracy to commit a crime. There's a law. It's been on the books since the 1950s, I believe. It's something.
1919. Go ahead.
Let me finish this part. There's a law that's been on the books. It's probably been on the books longer than the 50s. I know it became a thing, a big thing in the 50s, because there was a cheating going on television game shows, and it got brought up, and people went to jail for this because it's called a public trust. Sports is also a public trust. If you cheat in this, especially now that you got gambling involved, it is not just a black eye to the game. It's a federal offense. So I forget the name of the law. I had to look that up. But it's something to do with public trust, and they had a gaming commission, something like that. But that's where it all comes back to.
Hey, but nobody that you're talking about, the Johnson dude, Pete Rose, they didn't look at the dude's stats. He didn't throw the game. Pete Rose didn't bet on his team. It had nothing to do with him. He bet on other games. It had absolutely nothing to do with the play or the management of guys that he was dealing with. None.
And I don't know that Pay can use his how do we know argument with that, but when you don't use it with some of the other instances.
But here's the thing. I will say this. When you say, how do you know he didn't bet on the Reds? All of the evidence they have of him betting, of all of the bets that he wrote out, and there was sheet after sheet after sheet that they got from his bookie at the time and all that stuff. None of it had him betting against the Reds ever.
That's big facts.
So all the evidence says he did not.
I still don't think that is a big argument point. The rule is you're not supposed to gamble.
But you used it as an argument point.
Yeah. No, I say it. No, what I say it as a counter to you all. Well, it's okay because he didn't bet against his team. Well, you really don't know, since he's on record as a documented liar. That was my point.
Okay,
the rule still states that you're not supposed to gamble.
Never been proven that he bet against his team.
So I'm gonna make this statement about sports. Period. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I don't think that.
Hey, go blue!
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, and that's the truth. In all sports, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Everybody cheats. You got to get caught.
This isn't cheating.
Why is this not?
Different. This is different. This is not cheating. This is gambling on the game.
He didn't bet on his team, Pay.
That would have been cheating.
But he didn't bet on his team. It doesn't matter. He didn't bet on his team. He made a bet. He didn't bet on his team. No, it don't.
It matters because it takes away public confidence in the game. And as we are in this era now, when we can bet on games, what is the first thing we say when our bet does not hit? They cheating me.
Pay. You cannot tell me, even today in modern era, NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball guys don't have guys that work for them that they put money down and they bet that money for them. Shohei Ohtani just got jammed up with that. He just got jammed up with it. So you can't tell me that he's an anomaly. Guys bet money all the time with different stuff. It's just a matter of you get caught.
And they're going to get caught, all of them, because the system is airtight right now. Jonte Porter is going to jail right now because of it.
No, John, you're talking about the LSU guy.
He's out here.
You know why the LSU guy got caught? You want to really know why he got caught? Y'all want to know the truth behind it? And you know this goes back to college football, why he got caught.
Who are you talking about? Who are you talking about?
The kid out of LSU. The kid out of LSU.
When did this happen? Is basketball? Is football?
It's football, and it happened in the last 6 months to a year.
Okay.
He got caught because he was in trouble with dealing with the athletic booster's daughter. And that started the whole freaking investigation because the head of the athletic department was pissed off that he was messing with his daughter. And he dimed him out to the NC2. He dimed him out to the NC2A. And when he dimed him out to the NC2A, that started the whole freaking investigation. He had been betting on sports the whole freaking time. They
don't play about that because that's why Boston got whipped tonight, because Ume Udoka did the same thing and they got him up out of Boston because
that's
of
facts. That started, one investigation led to something else. That's why he got jammed up. But he had been betting for years. And people were profiting off of him. Shohei Ohtani, we know, been betting for a minute. We know he has. He got
his assistant.
Come on, man. Yeah. Stop that. Stop that.
You just don't start that. I think some of these guys are so competitive. I think most of the guys that fix games are probably not that good. The guys that are competitive is going to bet on themselves. They're not throwing no games. They're going to put money on themselves that we going to win this game. And I think that's Pete Rose, personally.
See, I was talking about this about gambling and being competitive. I had this conversation a few weeks ago, actually, with a friend of mine, because he was surprised that I don't bet a lot on games, right? And he said, "Man, I thought, you know, as much as you're into it and everything, I thought you would be betting, you know, significant amount on games." And I said, "No," I said, "It's to me, it's about the win. It's not about the money.
That's facts.
Don't care what the money is. I just want to know at the end of the year that I'm up. If I'm betting units, and that's the reason why I always talk about units. We talk about units on pay dirt. Whatever your unit is at the end of the year of a football season, if I'm up 6, 7, 800 units, happy as hell. 60, 70, 80 units, excuse me, I'm happy as hell. So, you know, if it's $10, it's 600, 700. If it's $20, it's $1,200. If it's $100, it's $6,000. I'm happy. That's my point. I don't care what the number is at the end of the year because it's funny money to me. It's play money. I'm just trying to win.
Most people that gamble is like that.
You brought this up with me the other day, and you won the bet. And Big G can attest. I've been like this since I've been gambling since I was in junior high. Big gambling, and my answer to a loss is bet it back. Bet it back. And I do that as net though. That's why I make some ridiculous bets with you. And you said that I'm not doing smart things by chasing, you know, good money at bad money after good money or whatever. So yeah.
Tilt, Tate.
That part. You see me there too.
I love
the statute of limitation is over with Tate. I'm telling it. I saw Tate win big bread in the bathroom in junior high school, bro, because I was doubling down on the side and getting some of that bread. Tate was in there killing them boys. He was in there killing them.
That's what got me hooked in 8th grade. I started homeroom with $2, and me in 8th grade is 1984ish, 5ish. Started with $2 in homeroom. By the time I left school that day, I had $228, and I've been hooked ever since.
Everybody had bread. Everybody made bread that day, man. If you was rolling with Tate, you made bread. I'm a 13-year-old, and I took $2 and I was hooked. And so now I'm not reckless. I'm not losing mortgages and stuff like that. But I will bet friendly $100, couple $100 bet on whatever, you know. But that's just me. But I would never bet against myself though, and throw something on purpose to make money. Facts.
A lot of I know you all say that it comes down to the you want the winner's spirit, and you just want to see the wins. A lot of people do it for the money. It ain't just for the thrill of gambling, and it's a slippery slope. If you're in it for the money, all it takes is you get in a little too deep, and then you start saying, you know what's the easiest bet for me to win? Betting on myself. And what's the easiest thing for me to do? To throw one. And now you got a whole big problem that you don't want to have. We have reached our hour mark.
Yo, Dylan A just broke the internet. You gotta put this comment up.
No, Dylan, that's not true.
Put it up.
Okay.
That's Big G, read it.
I can't read that, bro. I can't read that, bro.
All right, Dylan A says Will Howard will get a Super Bowl win before Lamar. Book it. Here we go.
Remember Book It? Remember Book It back in the day? Get a pizza for reading a book.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah,
we should bring that back. Yeah, bring that back.
I don't know about it. It's school unit.
We should bring back Pizza Hut.
We had it. We had Book It. We had Book It. Yeah, if you read so many books, you got this or that. You read.
It was called the Lima Read a Lot. It wasn't called Book It.
I think it was called Book It.
That's what it was called. Yeah, you charted books, you read books, and you told a little bit about them. I mean, yeah, but I never heard the term Book It. I mean, it could be similar to what Big G's saying, but I don't remember it ever being called Book It.
Book It, Dano.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah. But he said getting a pizza. We didn't get no pizzas either, Big G.
There's your
homeroom did. Our homeroom did, and first.
Like a pizza party.
Our homeroom did. Yeah, first through 6th grade. Yeah, homeroom.
Dylan said he's off Tate's purple drink from PYB. You had some purple drink on PYB.
Well, when the fact that I had to stay is going 14-3.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I don't know. It seems like a little something stronger than purple drink.
What's coming up this week on Running Through the Jungle?
Well, we are awaiting news about trading or signing Trey Hendrickson. So that'll be on the top of everybody's mind. And then just kind of the, I don't know, overblown reaction of the Bengals not having rookies signed because of little silly things, contract things that they're trying to figure out. And the public media now lambaste the Bengals because they can't. I mean, if you hear everybody tell it, they're being cheap and not signing Shamar Stewart when his contract is 100% guaranteed and dictated by the league. It's just the verbiage that they're trying to figure out, whether it's a roster bonus or a signing bonus. It's really not that big a deal. It's going to get paid. The idea of him being a 17th overall pick and not getting it, whether it's a roster bonus or a signing bonus over the next 4 years, the Bengals don't have a track record of cutting those guys. So to me, change the verbiage and go. I don't know why they take weird stances like this. It's something I do get frustrated with the Bengals as a Bengals fan. But there's going to be some more of that stuff, and then we'll dip into, probably go through and try to predict records and look at, it's almost time to start looking at pay dirt futures bets.
You're definitely correct about that. I've got a couple on my book right now. You all haven't done a schedule break on Running Through the Jungle yet?
We went through the schedule, did not do we didn't do wins and losses.
Predictions.
We didn't do the predictions because we had to talk about half of our show got eaten up talking about Trey Hendrickson and Shamar Stewart and Demetrius Knight.
Sound like the last episode of on the Frustrated Chicago. We had to do. I never liked doing this. We had to do 2 hours and almost. It was an over 2 hour show because the schedule and we had some other news. Maybe you've heard in Chicago. But coming up on Know It Alls this Sunday, what's happening?
We have a special guest, the Savannah Bananas Flash the Kid. Tate, if you got that queued up, can you play it for us, please?
Didn't play ball that year, and then I came over here to the Savannah Bananas. My travel ball coach tagged me in a tryout on Twitter, and I was just like, you know what? I was trying to do the whole independent ball thing. I was working for $10 an hour at Tijuana Flats.
Dang.
And it was a tough one, and I just didn't have the money to go to independent ball tryout on my own accord because they're like $2,500, $3,000 just to go and try out. That's not food. That's not hotel. That's nothing. But the Bananas tryout, $25. When you show up, you get your $25 back. And also the first 10 people who showed up end up getting a free hotel room. I was the second person to sign up. So I got a free hotel room for the weekend, $25 back. So I was able to eat while I was there. I ended up making the team. I tried out as a shortstop. They liked me because I was quick and I had hands. And I've been here ever since. I've been here for 5 years since the One City World Tour.
Hold up. Limitless. Niggas to me can't pinning it. I thought they...
Yeah. So big time guest this Sunday, live at 6 p.m. The Savannah Bananas Flash the Kid. Man, they're selling out stadiums everywhere. If you guys don't know what travel baseball is, they are really doing their thing. They're the equivalent of the Harlem Globetrotters that travel internationally, playing baseball all over. And it's not as scripted at all. It's they play legitimate baseball, but with different type of rules. So he's coming directly from the Pivot podcast to the Know It Alls podcast, and we're going to have him live Sunday on the show at 6 p.m., bro.
Can't wait to see it. It's going to be a good episode.
And everybody that's in this chat, if you haven't subscribed to the Know It Alls, please and thank you. The Know It Alls is getting really close to 1,000 subs. Really close. So if you haven't subscribed to the Know It Alls, because really all of us are part of a bigger crew, which is called the Know It Alls crew. Every show that you see, the Frustrated Chicago sports fans running through the jungle, Tate, what he does with the NBA Central guys, what I do at Steelers Almighty, what I do at Level Up College Football Podcast, we're all part of a bigger crew and a bigger family. So absolutely.
We a gang.
That's facts. That's fact. I listen. I already done put it out there. All of us need to take. We need to put the death row portrait together. Let's go on and put the death row portrait together. Take that picture. We're gonna merge it and put it on one thing. Death row is the Know It Alls podcast.
Pay got on all black right now.
Yep. Get behind a black background. Take the picture. Get your chain on.
Let's get behind a black background. You can usurp his image out the picture and put it on a black background. You just gotta have on all black. B Dirt. That's a nice Detroit Tigers jersey, man.
Little Mitchell and Ness right here.
Batting shirt or it's a jersey?
Yeah, batting shirt.
Yeah, no, I like it. Okay.
And at First Rate Chicago, we do run down that NFL schedule for the 2025 NFL season and talk about the news of the week. Apparently, Caleb and his dad had major reservations about playing for the Bears. Also, the Cubs, White Sox, Red Line Series will be in the building, Wrigley Field, on Sunday.
Wow. Dylan talking crazy, man.
That's enough.
Knight Jr. play for the Tigers?
What's that? No. That's our middle linebacker. Demetrius Knight Jr. Yeah, for the Bengals.
Oh, I saw MLB. I thought not middle linebacker. I thought Major League Baseball. What is it?
Tigers won tonight. Officially have the best record in baseball.
Facts. That's big facts.
Yeah, we didn't. The Reds, real quick, have lost. They won today against Cleveland, but now they've lost. They won today. They had lost 11 out of 15, so now they've lost 11 out of 16. No, I can't do that math. They've lost a lot of games off the past 15 games. 12 out of 16.
The Tigers are 30-15, so we're past the quarter mark in the season. Man, I don't expect them to keep this up, but it's nice to see them playing really good baseball.
And the Reds helped you guys out today with that win.
Pay making me pay if this keeps up the way it is, I'm gonna have to apologize to you about Javi. He playing pretty good ball since they moved him to center field
and put him in a nice spot. But he got things to prove.
Boy, doesn't he? After the past couple of years.
Well, I mean, he's a champion. You need those on that squad.
The Cubs are 5-5 out their last 10. What's going on with them?
Bad offense. They played the San Francisco Giants and the New York Mets, was it? Yeah, that was it. They lost 4 out of 5 of those games. Well, they dropped 2 series. The Giants and the Mets. They won the Marlins. They beat the Marlins. So it happens. 5 out of 5 of the last 10.
I'll give you the news real quick about Pittsburgh Pirates. They started the season by removing Roberto Clemente's number off the Roberto Clemente wall. They had a young fan
almost died.
Fall out of the right field stands onto the turf and almost died and break several pelvis,
clavicle.
Yeah, it was clavicle. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Then they had one of their employees punch a fan and then beat him with a belt because he was talking down to one of the girls that was working there. And most recently, all of the Bucco bricks, when they first rolled out PNC Park, they had people paying for bricks and they put them all around the stadium with your name on them and everything. They dug them all up and got rid of them. Yeah,
not a great season for them. And they suck. And they're in the last place of the division.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, great show. That is all the time we have for this week. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and have a great Friday night. And as always, Arrest Brett Favre.
Mamba out.